All right, good Wednesday morning. Glad to be back with you again for another update on our upcoming winter storm. Meteorologist Trevor Birchett with ABC24 here in Memphis. We're live on Facebook at 9 a.m. on this Wednesday morning. If you are watching on Facebook right now, let me know where you're watching at in the comments. And if you have any questions about the winter storm, I'd be happy to answer some of those for you as well. We're also streaming on ABC24 Plus live, and it will replay through the day. So if you watch us on Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV, you can catch it live at 9 a.m. or throughout the day today with this update on our upcoming winter storm. Let's jump right into it. Not much has changed, but we do have some more details for you as the storm gets a little closer. As always, I want to start out with today's forecast just so you know what to expect as far as today goes. Kind of a mix of sun and clouds. We actually will see a little bit of sunshine today. It won't be much, but a little bit. It's still pretty cold, though. High temperature only 33 degrees this afternoon with a breezy northwesterly wind. Now, tonight is actually going to be the coldest night of the week. Some of us falling to the teens. Look at that. 18 tonight in Dyersburg, Covington, 17 in Bolivar, and 16 in Corinth. Memphis getting down to 22 tonight. And the wind chill even colder than that. Likely a wind chill in the single digits tonight. So now's a great time to check in on your friends and neighbors, especially if they're a little older. Make sure they're doing okay. Have a warm place to go. And of course, also don't forget your pets because you don't want to leave them outside in this kind of cold weather. All right, like I said, we're doing this live at 9 a.m. And as of 9 a.m., Memphis is in a winter storm watch. That is this teal color that you see here, that bluish teal that extends actually across the entire state of Tennessee. That's the winter storm watch. Back to our west, though, in pink, that is a winter storm warning, which basically means it's going to happen within 24 hours. So I expect at some point today, that watch will be upgraded to a warning for the Mid-South. By the time you're watching this, if you're watching on replay later today, we might already have that watch extended in. But at some point today or early tomorrow morning at the latest, we will see Memphis upgraded to a winter storm warning. So what can we expect? Well, one thing that hasn't changed much is our timing. Still looks like late tomorrow night, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., we'll start to see some snow come in, and then the heavier snow will start after midnight and continue through at least the first part of the day Friday. So Thursday down into Friday, that's when this winter storm will affect the Mid-South. A general estimate of 3 to 6 inches across the whole Mid-South. We'll talk about exactly who's going to see what number here in just a little bit, but it's definitely going to be enough to cover the ground. And more importantly, it's going to be enough to cause travel issues. Starting early Friday morning, those roads will start to get slick and they'll be bad through the day Friday. So I would plan to be off the road Friday, if at all possible. And we'll likely see issues continue into the weekend as well with some melting and refreezing. So looking ahead with some more bullet points for you here with this winter storm. Again, I do expect travel issues by Friday morning. By the time the morning commute is happening Friday, there will be issues. Thursday will be fine. Getting to work, getting to school, getting home from work and school, no issues on Thursday. But by Friday morning, we will have issues. And like I said, at least some slick spots through the weekend. They might get a little better by Sunday and Monday morning, but there will at least be some slick roads. So the best bet is just to plan to be off the roads for Friday and for this weekend. I showed you this map yesterday. I want to show you again. This is kind of a general idea of what we're expecting. For most of the Mid-South, North Mississippi, West Tennessee, and Eastern Arkansas, this is going to be plain old snow. It's going to be cold enough that there shouldn't really be much of a wintry mix at all. It should be mostly snow. That wintry mix where you have the rain, sleet, freezing rain, that's probably going to be down to our south. So, like you've got Oxford, Clarksdale, probably to the south of that. That's where you will start to see that mix take place. I'll put Oxford and Clarksdale on there just so you have a little bit of a better idea of what exactly is happening where. So really south of Clarksdale, south of Oxford, that's where we'll start to see more of a rain-snow mix. Now those areas will still see a little bit of snow It just won't be as much because the rain is mixing in. We're going to watch to see if a little bit of that wintry mix can sneak into places like Clarksdale and Oxford. That could mean lower snowfall totals for them. But for everybody else, anywhere north of that, it's pretty much a surefire bet that it's going to be all plain snow. We'll just have to watch portions of North Mississippi that could get a little more of that mix, and that could decrease some of the estimated snowfall totals. Here's the latest hour-by-hour radar. This is our in-house model that we use. It's usually pretty spot on, so this is what I'm going to show you. I've also got the temperature on here and the time up at the top of the screen. So we're going to start out about this time tomorrow, 10 a.m. tomorrow. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s. Again, most of tomorrow is totally fine. By 7 p.m., there could be some snowflakes coming in. Places like Clarksdale, maybe a flurry or two. But really, most of the snow holds off until late Thursday night, probably even early Friday morning. This is now 4 a.m. Friday. Everybody is seeing snow, and everybody is below freezing. Now, places like Clarksdale, they're at 32 degrees, and I don't know if you can see all that well, but right at the bottom, there's a little bit of that pink showing up. That's where that wintry mix would be. So if Clarksdale can sneak up to 33, they might get more of that rain-snow mix, which would lower the amount of snow that they have. I still think snow for Clarksdale. We'll just have to see how much rain can mix in. Again, everybody else well below freezing, so it'll be all snow. It's just way down in North Mississippi, there could be a little bit of a mix. By 10 a.m., still seeing snow. Some of this snow could be heavy. Where you're seeing the darker blues in here, that's where it's really going to be coming down. Visibility will be low on the roadways. And definitely by 10 a.m., those roads will be slick because it will have been snowing for so long. Through the afternoon, still snowing. 3 p.m. Friday, light snow continuing. Notice for a time, we do get just above freezing, 33 in Memphis. And now it probably won't be enough to melt any of the snow because it'll be so quick that we get above freezing and then drop right below. But it could decrease those totals just a little bit from what possibly could have been had we have stayed at 32. By 6 p.m. Friday, most of this is done. There will be some light snow showers continuing into Friday night, and then our temperatures will go right back below freezing by late Friday night. So let's talk about how much. Well, this is the official ABC24 snowfall forecast, at least the way it looks right now. We're going to keep updating this. For most of the Mid-South, probably 4 to 6 inches. Forest City, Memphis, Bolivar, all of North Mississippi can expect 4 to 6 inches. That's where probably we'll have some heavier snow set up. Now off to the north, Dyersburg, Truman, Covington, Ripley, Blytheville, maybe not as much snow, but still a decent snow, 3 to 5 inches up there. But definitely the highest totals will be along and south of Interstate 40. Now I've highlighted an area in here, this purple zone right in here. There's going to be an area somewhere in the Mid-South where there is some heavy snow. And that heavy snow can bring us up from 6 to 7 or maybe even 8 inches in a couple of spots. That won't happen everywhere. That's why you see 4 to 6 for most areas. But wherever this little purple band of heavier snow sets up, there could be a couple of front yards that see up to 7 inches, maybe even a little bit more than that. I've put the purple band where I think it's most likely to go, the band of heavy snow. I think it's going to be between Memphis, DeSoto County, Tunica, Holly Springs, over to Corinth. That's most likely where the heaviest snow will be. But depending on how things end up, that purple band could end up a little further north, a little further south. It's going to be kind of a narrow band where there could be some 7-inch totals. Most of us, though, in general, will see 4 to 6 inches, 3 to 5 to the north, but still plenty enough to cover the ground and to cause issues on the road. Something I did want to mention that we talked about is that this is going to be a really wet snow because temperatures are right at 32. This is going to be one of those really wet snows that is great to make snowballs with, and it's great to make snowmen with. So it's going to be fun for the kids. But the problem is when the snow is kind of wet, it does make it harder to drive on because it also makes patches of ice. So kind of a 1-2 punch there. The wet snow makes it fun for the kids to make snowballs, but this kind of wet snow, wet, heavy snow can make those roads a little worse. Checking in on the Facebook comments here, Charlie says, how excited are you in forecasting snow versus regular storms? So I have to admit, I do kind of love snow and forecasting snow because it's a little bit like a puzzle for me, looking at all the data and trying to figure out what number to put where. So that is more fun. It's definitely more challenging. Most time when storms come through, it's pretty simple. We say, 4 to 6 p.m., there's going to be a chance of storms. Snow is really hard to forecast, and it's even harder because people around here, they want to know the exact amount. They want to know exactly when it's going to start, when it's going to stop, and how much is going to be in your front yard. And it's just so hard to get those exact amounts, and that's why we give you these ranges of 4 to 6. So it's fun, exciting to forecast, but it wears you down. There's a lot of long hours. So one of these per winter is fun. If we get any more of these, it can really start to wear us down as meteorologists. A great question from Stephanie. She says, how do you anticipate the snow to impact the power lines? So for this time around, you can't say much about the utilities. You don't know how they're going to work. But since we're not seeing freezing rain, I don't anticipate huge power outages. Now, anytime it snows, you have people that can't drive and they try to drive and they wreck into the power pole and the lights go out. So there could be some power outages, but this is not going to be an ice storm where the lines are getting weighed down by the ice and it's pulling the lines out of the poles. That's not going to be this situation. So again, there could be a couple of power outages. I don't think we will see massive days-long power outages with this system. And another thing I can add here that kind of goes along with it, this snow is not going to last forever. So there's no reason to go to the grocery store and buy a million items. There is just absolutely no reason to do that because next week by Tuesday, we're going to be in the 40s. So yeah, Friday, probably a great day to stay off the roads. Saturday, still probably tricky. Sunday might get a little better, but we'll have to watch that refreezing at night. By Monday afternoon, things will be in better shape. So while this might be a weekend to hang out in the house, you don't need to buy any more groceries than what you normally would. There's no reason to stock up for 3 weeks like the world is about to end because this will last 2 or 3 days and then the roads will be back to normal. So buy what you normally would for staying in the house for a weekend and leave some bread for the rest of us because I actually need to buy bread just for my regular sandwiches this week, and I'm sure they're probably all going to be out. So that's just a couple of notes there. Decent news about the power outages. There won't be extreme power outages, and again, this won't be a weeks-long winter storm, but there will be a couple of days where travel can be a little tricky here. Let's talk about your weekend forecast and just kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at ahead. Again, snow is likely Friday. We do get to 33 Friday afternoon. So while I don't think there's going to be a massive amount of melting, it might help to take a half an inch off or something. But then that refreezes Friday night into Saturday morning because we get down to 23. So the roads might actually be worse Saturday morning because Friday is just snow. Snow's not awful to drive on. I don't recommend it, especially for folks that aren't used to it, but you can drive on snow if you know what you're doing and you take it really slow. It's the ice that really makes it impossible to drive. So if we get a little melting and then it refreezes, that's what's going to make roads really slick. So Saturday morning will probably be pretty rough. We do have sunshine Saturday. We get to 34. That'll help a little bit more, but the same thing will happen Sunday morning. We get back down to 24 Sunday morning. I think Sunday afternoon, we will see some real improvement with high temperatures in the mid-30s and sunshine. Hello from Olive Branch. Thanks for checking in with us. And Stephanie, of course, always happy to help answer your questions. That's why I love popping on here because I can talk to you guys and stay on for as long as I want and just kind of talk about things more in depth. So thank you all for checking in with me. But yeah, that's kind of how the weekend looks. I would say at least through through Sunday afternoon, things will probably be a little on the rough side on the roadways. I think Friday into Saturday morning will be the worst, but by Saturday afternoon, they'll start to plow. The city of Memphis has a new treatment plan this year. They're using salt instead of salt sand. And they're going to be plowing more roadways than they normally do. So we'll see if that works out this time. But I would say by Saturday afternoon, we see a little improvement. Definitely still a couple of slick spots by Sunday morning, though. Before I hop off here, as always, I want to remind you to download the ABC24 app. It's free. Just search ABC24 in your App Store or Google Play. Wherever you're watching this, you can also watch it on the app. You can watch our live newscast, our extended coverage. We also have the latest forecast, hour by hour, 7-day radar, all that stuff right on the app. And as soon as we update it at the TV station, it updates on your app as well. So as many times as we're updating the forecast through the day, it goes right to your phone. You don't have to wait for the next newscast or the next live stream to see what's going to happen. And again, we'd love for you, before the snow starts, to join the ABC24 Weather Watchers. That's our Facebook group. Just search ABC24 Memphis Weather Watchers on Facebook. You can send in photos, videos, all that kind of stuff, reports, how much snow you have in your front yard, and then we can pass those along on TV. You might see your photo on TV. So again, just we'll swing through this hour by hour one more time if you're joining us kind of on the tail end. Tomorrow is fine for the most part. This is not going to start until late tomorrow night. The worst of it probably after 10 p.m. So no issues getting to and from work or to and from school tomorrow. It's going to be Friday morning that the roads start to get bad. We get heavy snow right in time for Friday morning. So I had somebody ask you about flights Friday morning. Not only will there be snow on the roads, it's also going to be still snowing, which can make visibility an issue on the roads and for the airplanes. So if the snow is coming down hard enough, I definitely do expect some delays Friday morning. Still seeing snow by lunchtime Friday, and then we'll see this snow eventually taper off Friday afternoon and Friday evening as it clears on out of here. So that's kind of the update for today. We have the solid snow accumulation map. I'll leave you with that actually, with what we expect to be on the ground starting Thursday night and then through the day Friday. For most of us, it is looking like 4 to 6 inches. The further north you go, slightly lower amounts. Dyersburg, Covington, Truman, more like 3 to 5. Up in the Missouri Boot Heel, probably closer to that. But for most of us, 4 to 6. That includes all of the Memphis Metro. But there's going to be a zone somewhere where a couple of neighborhoods could see up to 7 inches. Bottom line is, expect issues on the roadways. That's going to be the biggest thing this time through the day Friday, and then at least into part of the weekend as well, as things start to melt and refreeze and crews try to get everything cleared up from there. So I'm going to hop off of here. That's kind of all the updates I have for now. I'm going to keep looking at the latest details, the latest forecast. Meteorologist Corey Smith will be here today. Meteorologist Kit Thomas will be in later. He's going to update this forecast. So as the newest data comes in, we'll continue to tweak this. So check back through the day, and I'll be back with you live tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Wherever you're watching now, I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. with the latest forecast and a look at the latest data as the storm system gets even closer and closer to us. So again, please don't buy out all the grocery store. Got to get my bread later today. I'll see you tomorrow with another update. Have a good day.